Le logo d'INCA apparaît sur un fond jaune vif avec le texte « 73 questions à Angela Bonfanti, présidente et chef de la direction d'INCA ». Tout au long de la vidéo, les questions sont posées par Zari et répondues par Angela. Zari s'approche du bureau d'Angela.
Hey, Angela.
Hi.
You ready for your interview?
Yeah, let's do this.
Angela marche de son bureau jusqu'à la porte du bureau.
Congrats. How do you feel about
Thank
being
you.
CNIB's new CEO?
Amazing.
How'd you first get involved?
Long time ago, walking into this building, although it looked a little different with Dad when he was learning how to use Braille.
One word to describe your vision for CNIB.
Limitless.
Are you an early bird or a night owl?
I used to be a night owl, but sadly, post 40, I am officially an early bird.
What 3 words would you use to describe yourself?
Ambitious, grit, transparent.
Can you show us where the team works?
Yeah, actually, just behind me.
Coffee or tea?
Love coffee, doesn't love me anymore, so it's been tea, unfortunately, for the last 2 years.
Dog person or cat person?
Sorry, cat people, dog all the way.
What's your zodiac sign?
I'm an Aquarius, but I'm on the cusp. I don't know what the one before it is, but I feel like I'm not a true Aquarius.
What's the first thing you do in the morning?
Depends on which bed I fall asleep in. If I fall asleep in my daughter's bed, I will peel her off me. And if I fall asleep in my bed with my husband, I peel one of the dogs off me.
What's your hidden talent?
I'm a very good salsa dancer.
What do you think makes a great leader?
A leader who can influence change without authority.
Which one of the CNIB hub locations is your favorite?
I'm not going to answer that question. They're all my favorite. I love them all equally.
Your dad has sight loss. How
Yeah.
does that fuel your passion for CNIB's mission?
It's such a big part of who I am. And I think when you're raised with a dad or a parent that has a disability, it turns you into an everyday advocate. And I don't think I'd be where I am today, frankly, if it weren't for Dad's disability.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned from your parents?
The power of resiliency, empathy, and kindness.
What's your favorite activity at Lake Joe?
Rock climbing. I will beat Gary Nenson one day for getting to the hardest level, but I'm getting there, but rock climbing for sure.
Favorite way to unwind after a long day?
So if everybody's home and it's been a long day, we do this thing called a Bonfanti sandwich where we all get together and squeeze each other really tight and just sort of deep breath and wish the day away.
What's one item in the Smart Life store that everybody should check out?
The Meta glasses, so cool, super affordable, total game changer.
What's the best piece of professional advice somebody has given you?
Suck it up.
Beyond Print helps create accessible formats for books and other print materials. What's your favorite book format?
It depends. If I'm traveling and I've got time in an airplane, I do love the paperback format still. It's my favorite. But the reality is I learn a lot and I listen a lot and it's always Audible.
What's the most used app on your phone?
Microsoft Outlook.
What inspires you?
This mission.
What are your favorite things to do with your kids?
We love to eat together and we love to cook together and we love to clean together. Well, I like when they clean with me, so it's one of my favorite things. Maybe not theirs.
What's the biggest fear you're conquering as CEO?
Oof. There are a few, for 8th CEO in 106 years and first female. So yeah, it's pressure that I might mess it up.
When did you first realize you wanted to make a difference for the community?
I don't know if there was like a point in my life, but there was a point where I realized I'd been trying to make a difference for a long time with one-on-one advocacy for Dad. And I recognized that it really wasn't evoking the change that I needed it to. And so I think there was a point in time where I thought, I got to do something with this other than just shoot from the hip and, call people out when they're discriminating against him.
What message would you give to someone newly diagnosed with sight loss?
That there's hope and a vibrant community and this great place called CNIB that's ready for you when you are.
Do you want to head out to the boardroom?
Okay.
Angela, are you a karaoke champion or a shower singer?
Shower. Do not take me to karaoke.
Pineapple on pizza?
Yes, 100%.
What do you never leave home without?
My phone.
Souvlaki or moussaka?
Not an eggplant fan, so definitely souvlaki.
What's your favorite way to experience a new city?
find the best restaurants and eat.
Nous sommes dans la salle de réunion d'INCA.
So, what does accessibility mean to you?
Accessibility to me means inclusion, means equity, means that everybody can participate.
How do you plan to increase understanding of sight loss in Canada?
To tell more stories of the individuals who are impacted by blindness.
What's in your purse?
What's in my purse? Right now, my phone, my wallet. I have earbuds, and I have 2 Aria casino chips left over from my trip to Vegas a couple months ago.
Nice. What's one misconception about blindness you want to clear up?
Somebody told me on this on our board, and I'll never forget it. Blindness is not how I look, it's how I see.
How can sighted people be better allies to the community?
It doesn't take much. Check in, learn, ask yourself if you may have any discriminatory or biased thoughts around the abilities of somebody who's blind.
What are your hopes for the future of accessibility for people with sight loss?
That we finally create a barrier-free community, and that with every generation of new, urban designers, students, medical professionals, that we're checking in on bias and discrimination, and that we'll have to stop screaming as loud as we are today.
Is there a program at CNIB that everyone should know about?
We have lots of programs that everybody should know about, but if there's one program that I would highlight, it is our Come to Work program. If you are an employer, if you are an educator, if you're somebody from the community who is looking to change careers because you've had to stop doing something because you've lost some vision loss, Come to Work is the program for you.
How do you balance motherhood with your career?
I don't. I just don't. I do my best.
What's your favorite quote?
Okay, so there's a couple. I love Oscar Wilde. A couple of quotes that I have in my mind. The one that I think about that makes me kind of go the extra mile is something around, and I'm going to mess this up, so I apologize. Most people, very few people get to live. Most only exist. That is all. And
Love
so
that.
I want to live. I don't want to just exist.
Love that. How do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered by helping to take a 106-year-old organization and propel it into the future, create a more nimble, responsive organization, and to serve way more people than CNIB does today. So hopefully I'm remembered as one of the leaders that helped to remove the barrier that stops so many people with vision loss coming to CNIB in the first place.
That's amazing. Describe the impact of guide dogs in one word.
Game changer.
How does CNIB advocate for the rights of guide dog handlers?
Well, we advocate for, with, and by handlers for their rights. And I think that's really important. Us just doing something for the community isn't really helpful. So we help guide dog handlers empower themselves to be able to know what to do when they're in a ride refusal situation or when a restaurant refuses them because of a dog or a hotel. So we're with the community, and we advocate for systemic changes in policy and with major conglomerates like the Ubers of the world.
Hey, Angela, I'd love to see the recording studio. Can we go?
One of my favorite places. Let's do it.
Angela et Zari quittent la salle de réunion.
Angela, can you say something in all of the languages that you speak?
Okay. Yasu. Hola. Ciao. Bonjour.
Sweet or savory?
Can I do both?
Yes, you can. What's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie, it's almost the holiday season, so I think I have to go with The Holiday.
What's your favorite season?
Fall, favorite season.
What's your guilty pleasure?
I like to eat a little bit of chocolate before I go to bed. Every night.
Dans le studio.
Hi again.
Hey.
What's your favorite memory from working with the community?
Oh, there's so many, but honestly, opening up our first community hub in Toronto and breaking down a whole bunch of bricks to establish how we're going to smash through barriers is one of my favorite memories.
Love that. As the new president of DBCS, name one way you want to connect with the deafblind community.
I'm in the process of learning ASL, and I think that will help me to connect even more so, especially with our deaf staff.
As CEO, how will you modernize assistive device programs to reduce financial barriers to new tech?
Well, I'm not going to do it alone. These are very antiquated systems across the country where we have to get them to give more trust to the individual so that they can decide for themselves how to spend their dollars to support their accessibility needs and not have the government decide for them.
What hidden gem within CNIB would you recommend everyone check out, especially people who are new to the community?
You have to come to one of our community hubs.
CNIB helps people explore new tech. What tool or app are you personally obsessed with right now?
Currently geeking out on ChatGPT and all things generative AI, really eager to learn how this is going to change our workforce, how it's going to change the way we work, the way we do things in this world, and I want to be ahead of it, not behind it. So that's where I'm spending most of my time today.
What's your favorite social media platform?
Work is LinkedIn, of course. When you're home, when you're scrolling, trying to find a new recipe, or just trying to get 30 minutes of numbness before you go to sleep, it's definitely Instagram and how to do things at home with TikTok.
Who are some influencers everyone should know about?
Love Matthew and Paul. Love Molly Burke. So proud of her. And Mara Hutchinson is amazing. And of course, our very own team member, Ostienne Comtois. You have to follow her.
How will CNIB ensure people with sight loss have access to the latest tech?
We're going to keep working hard with the community to make sure that we're not only having access to new technology, but we're actually working with developers to help create, to be part of the innovation space, as opposed to being, this byproduct of tools that just happen to be made accessible.
Do you have a catchphrase?
No. I really wish I was that cool, but I'm not.
What's your go-to when you need a mental break?
Breathing, deep breath, find a quiet spot, gather your thoughts, try again.
If you could tell the world one thing about the blind, deafblind, and partially sighted communities, what would it be?
They're an untapped resource that will absolutely change society if you let them.
If you were an ice cream flavor, what would you be and why?
I asked my daughter this question. She said Rocky Road. I don't know. You figure out why.
What hopes and dreams do you have for children who are blind, deafblind, or low vision?
I really hope this is the last generation of kids that are showing up to school being called lazy, being called insubordinate, just when all along they are having issues with their eyes. I really hope we're able to move the needle on this issue and finally have kids go to school and be accepted for who they are, being given the tools they need, and to get, frankly, other people out of their way.
What advice would you give to youth who are blind or low vision?
To not limit the scope of your dreaming. Where there is a will, there is a way.
What book has had the most significant impact on your life and career?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on camera, but it's The Art of Not Giving a you-know-what.
Can you share a piece of advice that you've never forgot?
It's advice. I've had so much of it. I think when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. And I can use that in so many different versions of my life today.
If you could choose any celebrity to record an audiobook for the CELA Library, who would it be?
It would be Barack Obama, for sure.
Nice.
Let's get out of the studio. Do you want to head back to the office?
Sure.
I got work to do.
De retour dans le bureau d'Angela.
Angela, thanks so much for doing this. Just a few last questions, and then I will let you get back to work. What's one thing you had to learn the hard way?
Feedback, accepting feedback, and for what it is, and with grace, and to really bring it into what it is you do moving forward.
What's one talent you wish you had?
Oh, I wish I could sing. It doesn't take long for me to know every word to a song after hearing it like 2 or 3 times. The problem is I can't sing for the life of me, so it's a bit of a useless talent.
What's one thing you wish everyone knew about CNIB?
How we're fun and that we're effective and that we need more people to be part of our communities. So we're growing. We're 106. We are pretty hip for a 106-year-old organization, and we need more people to come in under the tent and help us be an even better organization.
Who would you like to spend an hour talking to, past or present?
There's a few. So this is a party game trick too that people get to. But I think presents. Well, and I want him to be in the studio. So yeah, Barack Obama. I'd like to do it, and I'd like to do it in CNIB studio.
How has mentorship helped to shape your career?
It's been everything. Once I got over the understanding feedback piece, I was able to open the door to so many people who served as current mentors. Like I didn't even know they were mentors, but they are my mentors because they're my everyday coaches outside of the organization and some inside as well. So there's a huge part of my trajectory, my growth, my career. It's got nothing to do with just me. It's got everything to do with my mentors and my team. So I owe so much to my mentors.
What still causes butterflies in your stomach?
My hubby.
What challenge has turned out to be your biggest lesson?
Growing here at CNIB, I think that I thought of growth as a challenge. I thought that I sort of peaked when I became a director, and then I really peaked when I became a VP, and those were challenges. You know, I was ready to accept what I had and to do that for a period of time. And I think that what that turned into was an opportunity for me to recognize that I could do more. And that brought me all the way to the president and CEO seat. So fear is the challenge. Fear of growing, of having arrived, and of not needing to do any more because I'm okay where I am. That's once I accepted that and learned to recognize it for what it was and call it out, I was able to accomplish so much more than I ever would have thought in my career.
That's inspiring. What words immediately come to mind when you describe the culture at CNIB?
Ambitious, unstoppable, caring. People care a lot when you work at CNIB. And, you know, they're going to change the world.
Thinking about this new chapter in your career, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Stop taking yourself so seriously. Have humility, accept feedback. You'll be so much more thankful. You haven't all got it all figured out, Ange. You've not got it all figured out.
Who do you look up to and who inspires you?
There's so many people, my team, my family, my husband, my kids I look up to, my sister. I think my mom and dad, for sure. As a unit, they've been through anything and everything you can imagine somebody having to live through in life. And the fact that they are still these wonderful, humble, happy, loving, caring individuals inspires me to be a better person every day.
What inspires you most about CNIB?
The future and how the fact that we are where we are, who's part of our team, the community of people that we serve. But I think the future is so bright, and I'm so inspired by it every single day.
And what are you looking forward to most in terms of CNIB's future?
There's so much. I'm looking forward to being able to tell the world in a different way how we are here to change society and that we're here to stay.
Amazing. Thanks so much for your time, Angela.
Thank you. Time to get back to work. I get out.
Love it.
Le logo d'INCA apparaît sur un fond jaune vif.